All right, everyone. Today we are doing section 1.5, solving more ratio problems. Today these ratio problems are going to be solved with tables and tape diagrams because we are going to look at part to whole relationships specifically. Remember that when something is part and whole, you are given either the entire tape diagram or the total of the items in the table. So we are going to do a table and a tape diagram for each problem. When we do the table, we are going to list both parts and the whole. And then for the tape diagram, we are going to be given the whole and have to break it into the parts. So the first one says Lakeshore Middle School has 150 students. 2 out of the 3 students, change that to a highlighter, 2 out of the 3 students in Miss Nichols' class prefer soccer. Use this ratio to predict how many students in the entire middle school prefer soccer. Create a table and a tape diagram to solve. So I've got 2 out of 3 here. Okay, when I create my table, I'm going to have students that prefer soccer. And then they don't tell you this, but you have students that don't prefer soccer. And then you've got the total number of students. So this middle column is information that you are not given, but you have to know. So if I've got 2 students that prefer soccer out of 3 total students, there is 1 student. Okay, there's 1 student that doesn't prefer soccer. Now it says Lakeshore Middle School has 150 students. That would be a total. And the next part is something that we've been working on the last couple of days. So how do I get from 3 to 150? Am I scaling forward or am I scaling backward? Well, to get from 3 to 150, I am scaling forward. And I'm going to multiply by 50. If I multiply that by 50 to keep everything equivalent, I'm going to multiply each space by 50. So 2 times 50 is 100. 1 times 50 is 50. And to be able to answer my question, it says use this ratio to predict how many students in the entire middle school prefer soccer. Well, if 2 out of 3 prefer soccer, then 100 out of 150 prefer soccer. So it's going to be 100 students. To do this as a tape diagram, when they give you 2 out of 3 students, that means that your entire tape diagram is 3 pieces and not 5. 3 is the whole. So if the whole tape diagram is out of 3, then I'm drawing a tape diagram with 3 pieces. So 2 out of 3 prefer soccer. And this 1 out of 3 don't prefer soccer. And then the entire school is 150. So again, we're here at 150 divided by 3 puts 50 in each box. And just like we found in the table, 100 students prefer soccer. Okay, the tape diagram provides more of a visual of the ratio, and the tape diagram is the more numerical style of representing the ratio. And either way you do it, you're going to get the same number of students. Okay, same thing for example 2. In example 2, we are given a part-to-part relationship at this point. So during their family vacation, Marcus took... Sorry for the crash there. During their family vacation, Marcus took 18 photos on his cell phone. The ratio of the number of photos Marcus took... So the number of photos Marcus took to the number of photos his sister Maribel took is 3 to 4. And then how many photos did Maribel take? Create a table. So for this one, I'm going to have Marcus and Maribel. And then I'm going to do the total, because we're going to do the total for all of these today. So the ratio of the number of photos that Marcus took to the photos that Maribel took is 3 to 4. And my total would be 7. And then Marcus took 18 photos. So again, if I'm scaling forward or scaling backward, in this case, I am scaling forward using multiplication. And I am multiplying by 6. So 24 and 42. Easy way to check to make sure that this total is right is that 18 plus 24 is 42. So Maribel took 24 photos. We've already done a bunch of these as tape diagrams, so I'm not going to do another tape diagram here. But on the part to whole relationships, I will do the tape diagram. So this one just says create a table. That's why we created a table. In example 3, it says a survey showed that 3 out of 7 students in the 6th grade like Michigan State. Based on this result, how many of the 146 graders don't like Michigan State? And then here we're going to create a table and a tape diagram. So I'm going to do both just like example 1. In this one, I've got students that are for MSU. And then I've got anti-MSU. I don't know why you would be that. And then the total. So this says 3 out of 7 students are for Michigan State. They like Michigan State. So 3 out of 7 like Michigan State. That means that there's 4 that are not for Michigan State. Because 3 plus 4 is 7. And then it says, based on this result, how many of the 146 graders? So there's a total of 146 graders. How many of them don't like Michigan State? So I'm going to fill in my table, but I scaled forward and I multiplied by 20. So times 20 times 20, filling in the entire table. So 3 times 20 is 60, 4 times 20 is 80, and 60 plus 80 is 140. And based on this table, 80 students don't like Michigan State. Okay. For the tape diagram, it says 3 out of 7 students. So this right here is my whole, that's my entire tape diagram. So when I make my tape diagram, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes. And then I'm going to draw my line after 3 of them. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is different than the part to part. Up above here, it says the number of photos he took to the number of photos she took is 3 to 4. That would be your 7 boxes this way with the line right here. 4, 5, 6, 7. This one is 7 total boxes because this is the whole and not one of the parts. So these students like Michigan State. These ones don't like Michigan State. And I've got 140 total students. That puts 20 students in each box after I divide. 140 divided by 7 is 20. And I've got 60 students here So this side is 60 students that like Michigan State, and then here are my 80 students that don't like Michigan State. Okay, so I got the same answer whether I use the tape diagram or the table. This is an example that we've looked at before. Martin's has a total of 80 cans of Pepsi and Coke. The ratio of Pepsi to Coke is 2 to 3. So I've got Pepsi, Coke, and the total. So now we're just practicing including that total when I'm given a part-to-part relationship. Here we are only creating a table. So the ratio of Pepsi to Coke is 2 to 3. That means the total is 5. If I have a total of 80 cans, I'm scaling forward, multiplying by 16. So I'm going to multiply by 16, multiply by 16. Let's change the pen color on that so that it actually shows up. 2 times 16 is 32, and 3 times 16 is 48. And then they ask you to answer both questions. How many cans of Pepsi? So 32 cans of Pepsi. That should be capitalized. And then I've got 48 cans of Coke. Okay, so example 1 and example 3 are how we do part to whole using both the table and the diagram. And then number 2 and number 4 show you how to use part to part when you are given a part and when you are given a whole in the table, because we've already done those with the tape diagrams. Now you are going to complete your homework assignment. Good luck and have a great day.